Hey everyone, Tech Gamer here. I've gotten a ton of requests from viewers wanting to know how the T-Flight HOTAS 1 flight stick from THRUSTMASTER has held up over the past year. I have logged over 1,500 hours on this flight stick to date, and it's totally awesome. To show everyone just how good it's working, let's take a leisurely flight over New York City in Microsoft's Flight Simulator being played on an Xbox Series X. So sit back, relax, subscribe to my channel, stay tuned, and let's do this. Okay everyone, welcome back. So here we are at the main menu in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Let's go ahead and select Activities and Discovery Flights. Let's scroll down to New York in the United States of America. Today we'll be flying in a Cessna 172 Skyhawk. Just waiting for the game to load here. So I have had this flight stick for about a year now. I bought it from Best Buy in the summer of 2021, and it has held up very, very well. I have zero issues or complaints with it. I have logged at least 1,500 to 2,000 hours across a multitude of flight games, whether it's been Microsoft Flight Simulator or Ace Combat are the two that I have played probably the most extensively using this flight stick. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the controller down now. Get out of here. We'll place this to the side, grab the flight stick. We are ready to roll. So we are throttled at 100%, heading over Central Park towards downtown New York City. Let's focus here on the park as we fly overhead. There is a beautiful shot of a rainbow over rainy New Jersey. As we pan around, we'll see more of Central Park. So heading downtown now. So like I said, I love this flight stick. It has held up amazingly well. As you can see, I've let go here and we are staying perfectly level. There's no drift or anything like that. Overall, this device is solid. It stays exactly where you want it to. It does not move. It is very reactive to my controls and is everything I look for in a flight stick at an entry-level price, which was really nice. So as we continue to head downtown here, on our left is the Chrysler Building, which we are now locked onto. As we continue downtown, we'll be passing the Empire State Building. Go ahead and locked on here. I'm just going to veer to the right a little bit so we don't run into it. Passing by the antenna. Let's see if I can get a nice shot here. That's a pretty nice looking shot. All right, let's continue heading downtown. We will go check out the Brooklyn Bridge. So as you can see, even the slightest movements in the joystick attribute to movements of the airplane, which is exactly what you're looking for. You should be able to let go of this flight stick and just have your plane continue on exact heading and course that it was already on. Same thing for the throttle. You should be able to let go and just have it stay exactly where you left it. Throttle down to about 25% here. 50%. Just to slow down a little bit. I'm going pretty fast. I'm going to 118 knots. Alright, we're going to go ahead and duck under these two bridges here, and then we'll head past the World Trade Center down to the Statue of Liberty. So we're just going to dive down to the lower water levels underneath the bridge. For some reason, whenever you fly underneath bridges, Flight Simulator automatically adjusts the external camera view for you. Not sure why it does that. That's something new that started happening with one of the world updates or one of the patches to the game. Not quite sure which one. But heading towards the World Trade Center, I'm going to try and slow the plane down a little bit here to the point of almost stalling, just to show you how easy it is to recover and how responsive the flight stick is. So I'm going to bank up pretty hard here and just Make sure I have enough speed to get over this building. We'll pass by the side of the World Trade Center here. So I'm about stall speed right there. I can hear it beeping. So go ahead and throttle all the way back up, and we'll dive down to pick up some speed here as we head down the Hudson River towards Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty directly ahead of us. There is the World Trade Center again. Pretty nice shot there with the sun reflecting off the buildings. As you can see, like I said, the stability and the reliability of this joystick is exactly what I'd expect from a entry-level flight stick, to be honest. When I bought it, I didn't really have any expectations. I read some reviews online that it was hit or miss. Some of the reviews were awesome. Others were, this thing's a piece of garbage. It drifts. It's got throttle issues. The buttons don't work. Stuff like that. I've not had any of those issues whatsoever. Slow down here so we can pass around the Statue of Liberty. I'll see if I can stay locked on here and see if I could fly around with the view here. We'll do a nice bank. Turn, gentle right turn here. Speed up a little bit so I don't stall out. So if you're in the market for an entry-level flight stick where you don't want to spend a lot of money, the THRUSTMASTER T.FLIGHT HOTAS 1 flight stick is definitely where it's at. There are some known issues with certain games with the way the throttle is. I've read that, I've seen it sometimes in Ace Combat, particular one, and there's some drifts noted in that game as well, but I have not experienced any of those drifts. It's always been very precise and spot on, to be honest. Again, I do not have any complaints about this flight stick. I absolutely love it. It's one of the best investments I've made for my Xbox and PC gaming. I think it rivals any of the more expensive ones too. I'd like to hear everyone's comments on what you think of this flight stick if you have it. If you've experienced any issues or concerns that are worth noting, feel free to drop a comment on this video and we can talk about them. So we'll continue up the Hudson River here on the west side of the World Trade Center. That is One World Trade Center. And if you've never been to the World Trade Center before, it's actually really cool to see. You can go up to the top of One World Trade Center and it's pretty fun. It is a bit of a tourist trap. Just prepare yourself. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cross over New York City around Midtown and head towards LaGuardia Airport. So I've not used any kind of auto flight or anything like that in this activity. Flight, it's all just been manual flying. As you can see, I've not had to touch the throttle. It stays exactly where you want it to. And very minimal movements on the flight stick to keep the plane at the right altitude and orientation. Flying about 1,300 feet over Midtown right now. We'll be coming up on the Flatiron Building. And we'll continue past on the eastern side of the Empire State Building. And we'll fly up the east side. Flying past the antenna of the Empire State Building again. We can see New Jersey off in the distance. Directly behind my tail is Newark Airport. So let's bank to the left here a little bit and just line up to fly up the eastern side of Central Park. We can see downtown in the distance there and Midtown. So as you can see, I've let go of the stick here. Fly perfectly level. Shows you how precise this flight stick actually really is. I've used this flight stick on both Xbox and PC with the same exact results. I prefer to play Flight Simulator on the Xbox actually, because the PC, it's a little rough on it in terms of graphics, just because of the video card I have. But still a whole lot of fun. If you've never played Microsoft Flight Simulator, and you have a decent computer or an Xbox, I highly recommend it. It's so much fun if you're into flight games. Oh, we're continuing past Central Park here. And once we get up to about intersecting the line of sight for the runway at LaGuardia, we'll make a turn to the right. A good rule of thumb is if you're flying on this particular, pre-built stage in Flight Simulator, when you see the cloud cover right here, you can make a nice gentle turn to the right to line up with the runway at LaGuardia Airport. I believe it's runway 11. Okay, so as we are coming into a landing, just a quick recap here. I have a THRUSTMASTER T.FLIGHT HOTAS 1 I bought from Best Buy about a year ago in the summer of 2021. I have logged about 1,500 to 2,000 hours on this flight stick across 3 or 4 different flight games, and it just is an awesome, awesome, awesome device. Does everything that I want it to, and more from what I would expect to get from an entry-level flight stick. I paid about $80 to $90 for this, and it was worth every penny. As you can see, it is just very responsive and does everything you would expect it to. We're about 200 feet now, heading towards the runway. Passing 160. We've got our flaps down almost all the way. And we're throttling down. The flaps are full. Coming in a little fast. Runway 13, not 11. And we're probably going to bounce a little bit here. Yeah, there's one bounce. But that's okay. We landed on the runway here. Let's go ahead and keep her straight. You do that by just twisting the flight stick to control and hit the brakes. And we are rolling to a nice gentle stop. Okay, I hope everyone has enjoyed this video. If anybody has any questions on the THRUSTMASTER T.FLIGHT HOTAS 1 flight stick, as always, please drop a comment on this video. I will answer anyone's questions. And I love having discussions about anything related to Flight Simulator and the flight sticks. As always, if everyone could please subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and enable notifications. There will be new and exciting videos coming soon. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good one.